Hi everyone, welcome to Outdoor Dad 1. Thank you for joining me. If you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. It would really help. A couple of people have bumped into me while I've been out and said that they like it, but they don't subscribe because they're worried that they're going to get charged. There is no charge if you subscribe, so if you could, that would be fantastic. And tonight we've got this lovely Fabarm Autumn 20 gauge, and we're going to have a quick look at it. My friend has decided that he wants some room in his cabinet and he's going to sell it. I said, before you sell it, can I please do a review on it? So here it is. So let's open up this lovely case. Quite a nice handy case, this. I quite like it, to be honest. I think it's quite usable. So we've obviously got the zips round. You can put a padlock in the zips. We've got Fabarm written across there. We've got a riveted on metal with red embossed logo on the top. And here she is. So we've got like the egg box foam in the top. And we've got this black, I don't know what you call it, pressure formed case. We've got socks on the action and the stock and the forend and the barrels. We've got a box of chokes. Let's have a quick look in here. So there's 2 chokes in the gun, and we've also got another 4 chokes here. Flush fitting chokes, long, part of the tri-bore HP barrel and choking system that Fabarm do. Fabarm are very famous for very robust barrels, which is good news for steel. As there's a non-toxic shot is going to become a big thing in the UK, so that's quite important for us, and I think that's the reason that the owner of this gun chose it, because of the impending lead ban. So yeah, we'll just he's had another pad put on it by a local gunsmith, a lad called Andrew Rose. Put him a nice red pad on. I tell you what, let's get it out and then we can have a look at it. We've got book of instructions. Now it went back to Anglo-Italian Arms, and they took him the auto safe out when he bought it new, free of charge. Very good importer. And the Cesar Guarini Fabarm group, whenever I speak to them, they always seem really helpful, really nice people, and yeah, nice to deal with. So there we have it. Lovely, lovely looking thing. So we've got this really nice colour case hardened action, and we've got Fabarm there in gold. And I think you'll agree, rather a nice piece of Turkish walnut. So let's have a look what we've got in. Get rid of that sock. Here we go. And we've got a set of 30-inch flush fit multi-choke, high performance tri-bore 3-inch Magnum steel shot proof barrels. With a really nice lustrous, really deep blacking on that. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And what they've done, I'm not sure how they've done it, but the rib is a matte finish. It's a sunken rib, I would say. Personally, probably could have just been doing with a little bit higher, the rib, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, so there she is. We'll get rid of this box and we'll have a proper look. Here we are, she's out of the box. We'll have a look at the and the stock and the action, starting at the back. So the owner of this gun has had this rather quite nice red pad put on, very classic looking. The fit on it is absolutely lovely, as you'd expect. And we've got this really nice piece of Turkish walnut. Even got a bit of fiddleback in it. Looks absolutely lovely. Fine checkering. And we've got a really nice little board around it. Laser cut. Ever so neat. It's a nice thing. And then if we go on to the safety catch, this gun has got quite a nice safety catch. It's a little bit bulbous, sort of looking at it from the top, but it's nice and positive, works well. It's a non-auto now. He's had the safety bar removed, so it doesn't come back on, which is a really handy thing. If you're new to side-by-sides and single triggers, say you have a competition gun, you shoot clays, and you're having your first side-by-side, probably best to go with a nice single trigger rather than a double trigger, and a non-auto safe if that's what you're used to, because every time you come have a shot with it, it'll trip you up. If you're in the field, obviously, always break your gun if you need to, take your cartridges out, and obviously you can put the safety on yourself if you require it. We've got a barrel selector on the top. That's nice and positive, very nice. Lovely bluing, a little bit more, it's not engraving, it's like I don't know what you call that pattern. But the top lever's got some cross hatching on it. It's got some quite a nice design. Not quite, it's like a floral design. This, we've got some flowers and some leaves, and it's got a scroll back, which is quite nice attention to detail, really. The wood to metal fit is very good, although the wood is a little bit proud, which we can forgive it, at its price range. You'll get more years use out of it. Yeah. So we've got this really nice colour case hardening, and on the underside here we've got a black trigger loop. We've got a gold Fabarm lion there in a little shield with some more nice floral engraving around that. Autumn 20. And we've got a really nice gold trigger, and it's checkered as well for a bit of grip. All very sensible, very nice. I really do like colour case harden. A bit of gold just really sets them off. It's probably one of my favourite designs, really. I love a bit of colour like that. Right, let's move on to the forend. Some more very fine checkering. To be honest, on a game gun, I know some of the Scottish guns and Dixons and so on, they have very large checkering, but I think on a nice sort of fine English gun or a nice game gun, I think the finer checkering looks nicer. And this with its little board around, it's very nice. Little Anson push rod catch with blacked, which I think is quite a nice contrast to the colour case hardening, really. Couple of nice little black parts. We've got a black top lever, black safety, black trigger loop, and these black fittings just go against the action really nicely. Now I'm going to say that we've got a changeable bite on the loop there, so this gun can probably have the draw tightened up on it, which is a nice feature. Yes, we've got some nice checkering. Obviously, we've still got a little bit of fiddleback in this forend, so it's a well matched piece of wood, and it's a nice piece of wood. It's a good looking gun. So we'll have a quick look at these barrels. Oh gosh, I forgot my glasses again. I always do this. Never mind. Read the owner's manual before use, always. And then I'm looking here. We have got CIP-S for steel shot. And not only that, we've got CIP Fleur de Lis for high performance steel shot. Now, Fabarm make the barrels for Caesar Guerini, I believe, as well. And I think they are very well known for basically their tolerance of steel shot. They're made for it. They're quite, there's a bit of waft in these, bit of beef in them. We've got nice flush fitting chokes there, so obviously, you don't want loads of choke when you're shooting steel. You can change your choke, which is a really nice thing. And like I say, what have we got? Fabarm Tri-Bore HP 20 gauge, 3-inch, and that's 76 millimeters. Made in Italy, steel shot proof. And basically, I think that is a really handy, and that is probably the main reason why I would purchase a side-by-side like this. So we'll clip it together. As you can see, it's quite it's almost like an over and under design, really, the way it's got its loop split into two, and I think it's a self-tightening bike, so as it wears it tightens up on itself. Push that open, give it a helping hand. Always take your time putting your barrels onto your action. There's no point in rushing. We don't want to damage it. Right then, there we go. We'll just move these chokes. We've got the old butt plate there. There we go. She's a grand thing. Yes, we'll have another quick look at them chokes. I'm not sure if you noticed before, but we've got a nice little key. I think from the factory they come with I think it's 4 chokes. I think he's bought an extra 2, but really impressive, these chokes. So when you're using steel or patterning in general, really, if you've got nice, long, slow, gradual restrictions, the pressures, they don't spike as high, and obviously we don't damage the shot. Not that I don't think that you would damage the steel, it'd damage your gun first. But yeah, so they're really, really nice little chokes, them. They're pretty little things in their own little box. And as you can see, this is the standard pad, and it's a nice piece of walnut, some fine checkering on it again, and a little border top and bottom. And if anybody wants to put that back on, that'll go straight back on the gun if they so choose. I must admit, I do like the little red pad. Very classy. Yeah, so there she is together. She's a beautiful thing. Tell you what, we'll just drop the old snap caps in. Now, one of the things I was impressed with this beautiful little 20 was the trigger pulls, and the triggers are 4.5 pounds on both pulls. No creep. Little bit of travel. We'll flip her over onto the next one. Nicely does it, and she's an ejector. So I'm going to catch these so I don't damage anything. Last thing I want is me great big heavy brass snap caps smacking into the wood. So always be aware of that. Yeah. So we've got a scroll backed box lock ejector, single trigger, selective, with 3-inch Magnum steel proof. 30-inch barrels. Obviously we can swap as chokes to whatever we feel like. Really nice piece of Turkish walnut. This absolutely lovely colour case hardening. Just set off with the gold trigger. The floral, I'm going to say laser engraved. Obviously at this price point. Really nice bit of lustre in this blacking on the barrels. With this matte sunken top rib. Now, I have actually shot this gun, and I must admit I would have preferred the rib just to be that smidgy bit higher. And really, this gun, it's fantastic. Upland gun. You can chuck whatever load you want through it. And for a 20, and if you're killing with non-toxic shot, you're going to want to choose your cartridge, and you're going to want something with a bit of whack behind it, really. And that's what these guns are all about. I think they're very nice. You can carry this, if you was walking a hedgerow, shooting partridge or quail in a different country. It's a nice gun, but you've got the choice with your ammunition, your non-toxic shot. You can put 3 inches in this, your magnum loads. If you're only firing, 10 shots in a day, 5 shots while you're having a walk round, it's no biggie. And this is a really nice gun. It's a pretty thing. I think if you're having your first side-by-side, and I recommend that anybody does have a go with a side-by-side if they get a chance, and they might want to own one. It's just something a bit different and a bit, nice just to try different things. And I think these, if you're doing a bit of competition shooting, if you've shot clays for a couple of years and you're wanting to try side-by-side, then this is probably the sort of setup you'd go for, with the single trigger, the ejectors, have the auto safe put to manual, and then you're not tripping yourself up. And it's a really nice thing. I think as far as if you compare this, I suppose, to the side-by-sides that I shoot, when you put the gun up, one of the things that I notice, and mostly because I shoot so many of them, is the top of the top lever. It'd have just been nicer if they'd have just fetched this action down a little bit lower and just fetched the top lever down a little bit more. All of this costs money. These are just the refinements, really, of English guns. And that's one of the things that I sort of notice. The barrels, there's a bit of weight in the barrels. And there's just sort of the little thing. The forend's a little bit bigger than it would be on an English gun. That's nice. I do believe you can get this gun. Obviously, this is an English straight hand. I believe you can get it in a pistol grip with a beaver tail forend. I think with these low sunken ribs, I think they're harking back to an English design, and they obviously sell them, and that's what people are wanting. But it's almost, I don't know, maybe a step too far, I feel. I think if they'd have just had that rib a bit higher, I think if you're coming from competition shooting in particular, it'll be that little bit nicer for you. Yeah. So there's the safety catch, obviously being a single selective trigger. We've got sort of a slightly larger safety, and it works very well in all weathers, I should think. It's got some nice grip to it. But like I say, an English or a Spanish box lock would just feel that little bit more svelte than this. The problem with the English and the Spanish box lock is you're not going to shoot the steel shot through it. It's not going to be 3-inch Magnum, and you are basically going to be into buying £30 worth of bismuth cartridges each time you want to fire a box through it. Not so with this gun, and that's where this gun is a winner. It looks fantastic. You know, it really, absolutely a nice handling gun. Looks great. Like I say, just a few little refinements I think that just set it apart from a more traditional gun. But what are you going to do? This gun, steel shot, say you want to shoot a duck. You can't shoot it with your lead shot. So you've got to go non-toxic for the duck. This, you can have your pocket full of 3-inch, 20 bore shells, and you know that this gun is going to shoot it all day long. I think it's a very sturdy gun. I should think it'd last a lifetime. Really would. And Fabarm and Caesar Guarini, whenever I speak to him in the UK, I spoke to him at the shooting show recently, they're really enthusiastic, really keen to help you. Like I say, the owner of this gun, he asked them if they could have the safety bar taken out. They did that for him free of charge. I spoke to him about a few other things. And yeah, they seem really keen and really accessible and really positive, really, to when you deal with them. And this little gun is an absolute little beauty. You know, future-proofed. You know, there's nothing. You know, you don't want to be going for some really obscure side-by-side as your first one if you're just getting into it. If you're an absolute anorak like I am, then, you know, blow your socks off and go deep on something that's worthless. But this thing here, I will think, it will always have a very good value, down to the fact that we've got this fantastically strong barrels. And balance-wise, it's 6.9 pounds, this gun, and it's ever so slightly front heavy. Now, if it was mine, I might just drop a bit of lead in the back of it and just level it up. But to be honest, as a game gun, it'll swing fast, it'll handle well, looks fantastic. Yeah, so that's the Fabarm Autumn 20. I think a very purposeful, very good looking, and yeah, I think my friend's just letting this go to make some room into his cabinet for his next thing, and I've managed to get it off him before he sells it, so we could have a look at it on the channel, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree it's a lovely thing. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll probably have another video out this week. This one was a bit of a surprise, but we've got it out to you. Thank you very much, and please join me again. Have a good night.